Got an interesting case for you of a 23-year-old male. Let's jump into it. So he came and saw me in February of 23. He said, for a week, I've been lightheaded and dizzy when standing or exercising. In the past, he had had frostbite on his feet. He was an avid skier, lives in the mountains near Telluride. He gets chronic tension headaches on the right front side of his head most days for the last year. He started having OCD symptoms a year ago from high stress, and it happened after the vaccine. He had the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. At the time, he was on Accutane and nicotine. He has since stopped those. He gets snow in his vision periodically and lots of floaters. Digestion is off. He has chronic bad gas. It's foul smelling, and his bowels are irregular. He doesn't have normal bowel movements, sometimes loose, sometimes solid. A lot of muscle twitching in his legs. That was also new. For the last 24 hours, he had twitching in the bottom of his foot. A lot of seasonal allergies, for which he takes Allegra. For years, he's had trouble falling asleep. He would say his stress is a 3 or 4 out of 10, but he's always on the go. And just to let you know, in person, he was a very high-strung guy internally. It looked calm on the outside, but you could see there was a lot of bound-up energy and tension. And that's a sign of fight or flight. So here's how his first test looked. You can see not a lot of green, only 2 pair of green bars out of 12, so 10 non-greens. Here's the fight or flight system. As I've shown in other videos, when it's really low, it means that that system's been working hard for a long time. It's like the tread wearing off of the tires. Immune system, big split. Really exhausted on one part of his lungs here, which is the immune system marker measurement on this test. Hormones off, heart off. Here's the digestive one. Small intestine, large intestine, gallbladder, and stomach, the big liar that always lies on the first test and says it's doing fine, but it's not, was a green, of course. Liver, also a big split. So this is only a 23-year-old man, remember? And so when you're that exhausted and that out of balance at 23 years old, you can almost guarantee there's a lot of internal fight or flight taking place. So what do we do for him? We gave him hydrochloric acid. You'll see that's a very common response, a very common supplement that I give. It's in my book. I list it there of the most common things I use. And he needed it as well. And that's part of the lying stomach pattern that I was telling you about. Stomach said it was green. What do I have to give it acid for? Well, the stomach is stealing resources from other systems in order to function its best. If you think about it logically, if you're not going to digest your protein or any of your food very well, you're not going to be getting the nutrients you need. And you have to have those nutrients to heal and repair and sustain yourself. So stomach is king when it comes to who gets the electrical resources, the energy, the nutrients, to function best. He was also put on a fish oil. I gave him something for his immune system. This one was very much related to the sinuses. It contained berberine, which, as you know, is a favorite of mine if you've been watching any of these videos. He was also taking turmeric and ginger. I left him on that. He was put on my powder, not only just 1 scoop a day, as I do for most people, but in his case, because he's 23 years old and he was that exhausted on his graph, I told him to take it twice a day. So 2 scoops a day for him. He was also on magnesium, which was still working well for his body, so I left it in there. Put him on the Gentle GI diet, which is step 3 in my 50 Fix guidebook. And he needed a little vitamin D, which is essential for immune function as well, especially since his immune system was so split like this. So what happened on his next graph? So let's see, we're here in the middle of February, the next graph. Look at that. Everybody flattened out to almost all green. It's like what I say often is the lawnmower is going to come along and it's going to chop all these weeds off here, and you're going to end up with a nice lawn, but low. At his age, he shouldn't have 28 average energy. He should be higher than that. But that's a really good start. We want to see these major systems that are out of balance. There's a lot of teeter-totter reactions taking place. We want to see them level off, and then the grass can grow from there. So very good sign. Now look, lying stomach finally showed up. Good. What did he say about this? He said, Sleep was good, but wake up lethargic. So he wasn't having trouble falling asleep. He was able to get to sleep, but he's waking up tired. His digestive system was already much improved, so that's fantastic. He had some muscle twitching in his diaphragm, but his legs are fine. So still battling some muscle twitching, but the big issue from the big muscles, the legs, was improving. Again, falling asleep easier, but if I wake up, my heart is usually pounding and I can't get back to sleep for a while. This is typical with the fight or flight response. You're going to get this sort of turbulence. You're going to bounce around for a little while, especially if it's been very severe, which it was in his case, even though he's 23 years old. But this guy, he was an avid skier, outdoorsman. He never sat still. He worked out in the gym. He was always on the go. Again, calm on the outside, but you could see he had a lot of internal revved up energy. A lot of fight or flight to the point where it even drained him electrically. So I wasn't too surprised that everything didn't just go perfect in one visit. It was going to take a little bit, but not that much, as you'll see. Nausea's gone now. He didn't even mention nausea on his first visit in, which again is what people do. They have so many symptoms, they focus on the main ones, and then they come back as they're getting better and they say, oh yeah, by the way, doc, thanks a lot. My nausea is better and my migraines are gone, or anything else they forgot to tell you about. Headaches and floaters were the same. So we haven't helped his head yet, and the floaters were the same. If we go to the next time in, which was about 5-6 weeks later, we did an adjustment on him. His digestive system, his gastrointestinal tract was the best in forever. It's starting to get a lot better in the digestive tract. Once the digestive system turns the corner, you know you're going to have a win. Because 60% of the immune system's in the gut. That's where you absorb all your nutrients. So once that happens, we know we're going to be in good shape. No floaters. So he had them after his first visit, had them after his second visit. By the third visit, the floaters were gone. Sleeping much better. No twitching. Wasn't talking about waking up with the heart pounding anymore. And then by his last visit, when I saw him, he was doing great. Just need an adjustment today for pain on the right side of the head. He had a bad tension headache, but overall much better, sleep much improved, although he can overheat at night occasionally. So that's what I had written down as his final note when he came in. So when somebody comes in and they say, I just need an adjustment, I know that the big battles have been won. If we go back and look at his test here on his third visit, he looked like that. So still green, but low. Fourth visit, the energy is finally starting to come up. Stomach is still over there, letting us know it needs attention. So I was very clear to let him know and remind him that even though your symptoms are 80 to 90% better, you need to stay on your supplements a good 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 months, even in his case. Then you can start skipping. You can skip days, you can skip weekends, you can just push it a little bit. I call it a supplement holiday. Just take some time off and then see how your body's doing. We want it to fly, so to speak, on its own. We don't want to be dependent on supplements forever. But stress is real. Life stress is real. Sleep issues are real. Sicknesses are real. Relationship issues are real. We're going to need some supplements at some point, at some time. And the beautiful thing is he now knows what he can turn to when the wheels start to come off. So hope you enjoyed that.